passages I'm going to be reading are from this book called The Missionaries, God Against the Indians by Norman Lewis. You can buy it on Kindle. Now, I've said this time and time again, that really was the Asians that came over to America first. So if we're talking about the first foreigners who came over to America, it was the Asians. Okay, then it was the Spanish people and so on and so forth. Because there are islands in the Pacific Ocean between Asia, the continent of Asia, and the Americas. So considering that, why wouldn't they just island hop and go from Asia, stop at the islands, and then go to America? Because if the people of America, the real indigenous American people, not the mixed Asian that they want to show you in media, if the actual copper-colored, woolly-haired people of America also sailed to those islands, what makes you think that the two did not meet in the middle and have children together? Or some of them kept going to Asia, some of them from Asia kept going to America and stayed and mixed with our people here. So I read in this highlight that I did in this book. This is actually talking about some of the European missionaries that were visiting the island of Tahiti. So it says here, when Cook left Tahiti at the end of his second mission, he wrote in his journal, "I directed my course to the west, and we took our final leave of these happy islands and the good people on them." Some years later, he has to write, "It would have been far better for these poor people never to have known us," because obviously we know what happened to the people of Tahiti. A lot of them got destroyed. They were inducted into Christianity, and they were mixed out. If you look at the modern day people of Tahiti, I almost said Haiti, and then the people of Tahiti, like they had pictures in the 1800s, they are wildly different. They literally have, the people in Tahiti in the 1800s in those photographs have like what you would call an afro. Mm-hmm. This is what many of them look like. Now, a lot of them, you look at the ones modern day, and I had to type in Tahitians with afros to get this. Because you can't say, oh, it mixed with Africans. How Africans sailed all the way around to the Pacific Ocean to land on these islands? No. If you type in the Tahitians of today, this is what they'll show you. How they get from the other picture we just saw to this? Well, it was the Caucasian missionaries that stayed and made it with them, and it was the Asians that also came from Asia, because Tahiti's in the Pacific Ocean by Asia, and they stayed too because what? It was a warm, welcoming place. Let's just be honest. A lot of black people, they love welcoming other races into their areas. You don't see black people fighting gentrification that much. You don't. They just wake up one day and they just say hello to their white neighbor down the street. Don't even care their projects or whoever being gentrified, or their neighborhoods are being gentrified. They let anybody in and be happy about it. Hey, Neri, like, hey, man, what's going on? No, that's what we did in Tahiti. Just let anybody in, as you can see. And then another passage here. Bly, I guess, spent 5 months in Tahiti gathering shoots from the breadfruit tree for transportation to the West Indies in the hope of improving the condition of Negro slaves. Notice I didn't say African slaves. In Tahiti, he became a kind of folk hero. When he finally sailed, he wrote, "I left these happy islanders with much distress, for the utmost affection, regard, and good for fellowship was among us during our stay." And then as we continue to read here, a few days later, the famous mutiny on the Bounty took place due to the determination of members of his crew not to return to England, which was a cesspool, but to remain and settle on the islands where they had found so much happiness. So, if this mutiny took place on this ship, or this boat, and they turned back around and they stayed in Tahiti, don't you think these people who were on the boat from Europe would have had children with the people of Tahiti? And don't you think the Tahitians would have just welcomed them with open arms? And you said, oh yeah, you're not here to destroy us and kill us and, mix with us so you can gain some more control. Oh yeah, just come on, you can stay here with us. And now they look like this. And you think this is Tahiti, and you think they always look like this. And it blows my mind to see how they can be so far off from how the original Tahitians used to be, and they can still call themselves like, oh, we've always been here. I'm like, no, actually, you just got here. You're not even the people that they first encountered when they came to the island of Tahiti. They're not. Don't. It's like straight up Asian girl. There's nothing wrong with that because, like I said, the Asians were the first foreigners to come over here, and they just stayed mixed with us. There's literally a whole bunch of islands between Asia and America. Why, logically, why would you not stop at those islands to get food, to get water, and to be greeted by these, not these, but this friendly people?